Hello again everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another speed build video in The Sims 4. Happy Halloween! I hope you're all having the most amazing day ever so far, and thank you so much for joining me here today for our official spooky day in real life. Halloween is my favourite time of year, favourite day of year. I absolutely love all the spooky vibes, and I wanted to get a video out today because I wanted to share this abandoned, creepy sort of farmhouse that I've been working on for the last couple of days, and this likely will be the last autumnal / spooky build of this year. I'm saying that quite reluctantly actually, because I'm not entirely sure that will be the case, but it's likely going to be the last one of the year, and I wanted to do something a little bit different. We've done a lot of autumnal builds on the channel this year, but I wanted to put out like a spooky creepy build as well. So we are in Moonwood Mill, which is the world that came with the Werewolves game pack. I always want to call it like Moonlight Falls or something, but it's Moonwood Mill. And I figured this was kind of the perfect world to actually build this farmhouse in, and I am building on a 20 by 15 lot, so it's a very small lot, but the house itself, it looks bigger than it actually is. On the interior, it's not too large. We've got 2 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. We've also got a kitchen, like a dining space, a living room. We've got like this weird sort of room in the back with just like a rocking chair and some candles and stuff. But my main goal and main focus for this build wasn't necessarily to create something super playable. So I haven't play tested this build, and there is a reason for that. So if you'll notice, if you have already downloaded this from the gallery, it is available there. The description reads something along the lines of, this house was once a lively, sort of thriving family home, and over the years it's become quite abandoned essentially. So it's like an abandoned building, and it's not occupied by anyone at the moment, and there may or may not be some spooky goings on in this house. There are people that live in the world, in the town, who have reported some spooky things going on, and essentially what I wanted this build to be was more of like a renovation project for you guys to take on. It could also be a nice backdrop if you wanted to do any like spooky videos or screenshots with your Sims. You can definitely add a fridge and a cooker to the kitchen and make it completely functional. Now the reason I say that is because I actually used a fridge and a cooker from the debug menu from Eco Lifestyle, I believe. And if you're not too familiar with the items or the debug items from that pack, essentially they're like, it's an oven with the front door off, and it's the same with the fridge. So they're not actually functional, they're just clutter items. And the reason that I used them in this house is because I wanted to get across this like abandoned, rundown sort of feel, and I think I achieved that with this house. I'm very happy with how it turned out. It was really refreshing for me to build something like this, because I feel like I haven't built anything like this for the longest time. I can't remember if I did anything like this last year around Halloween time. I genuinely can't remember. I know I did like a vampire's house, but I've never done like an abandoned farmhouse before. Now, a couple of things to notice and note as well. I did a couple of things off camera. So for example, the roof doesn't stay like this. So I actually changed the roof pattern to like the more disheveled metal one with the holes in from the Werewolves pack. I just thought it fit in better. And then what else did I change? I feel like I just rejigged a little bit of the landscaping, just because when I was taking the screenshots for the thumbnail and such, it just wasn't, I don't know, there was something about it that wasn't quite sitting right with me. So what you'll notice is, I think because the shape of the house is really quite unusual, it's not like one of my typical really pretty houses. So I wanted the shape to also sort of reflect that it's a little bit strange. So the shape's obviously a little bit odd as well to sort of tie in with that. And you'll notice me sort of panning in and out, just making sure that it looks how I'm wanting it to look so far. I use a lot of debug items from Werewolves, from Eco Lifestyle, from Base Game, to achieve the look that we're going for here. On the interior, I used a lot of items from Horse Ranch. Horse Ranch came in so handy for this build, I can't even explain it to you, because a lot of the furniture looks quite disheveled, especially a lot of the wood furniture. So I used a lot of items from Horse Ranch. I used some items from Cottage Living, Vampires, Paranormal, again Eco Lifestyle, and you'll see me adding some sort of detailing to the exterior of the build as well. I meant to say exterior. The exterior of the build from Vampires, such as the cracks and the holes, and some just more detailing for the outside, because I really wanted to sort of get across that this was like an abandoned, creepy farmhouse that is not currently occupied by anybody. So yeah, I think this could be a really fun project for you guys to take on if you want to. So you could definitely renovate this, move the house onto a different lot in a different world if you like. I'd just really like to see if there's anything that you guys can sort of come up with that maybe I hadn't thought of. Maybe one day I will renovate this myself on a live stream or on like a real-time video or something. But yeah, just let me know in the comments down below what you would like to do. But now we have moved on to the interior. So this is where we try and work out the floor plan. As I'm sure you can see, I have already pulled out a couple of debug objects from the Eco Lifestyle pack just so that I can put them in the kitchen. And the floor plan, it took me a little while to figure it out. I feel like I sort of had to mentally prepare a little bit for the floor plan off camera. So before I even started, I had a really good think and I already had a really good idea of what I wanted the interior to look like. And I kind of let go of this perfect family house, perfect family floor plan like I would usually have in my mind when I'm doing my builds. Because again, it's not supposed to really make sense, this house. It's just supposed to be a bit of fun, and I just had an absolute blast creating it. So I really hope you have some sort of use for this house. Like I said, whether or not that means throwing in a cooker and a fridge and making it fully functional, or whether it's just something that you're going to have as a backdrop in one of your save files or something like that. Anyway, so we have already started working on the kitchen. As I'm sort of coming across items that I feel like I'm going to be using, I do sort of add them to a separate room just because I don't know if anyone else is like this, but I often find when I'm going through the menu on the build and buy catalog, I'll come across items and then I'll sort of clock in my mind, I'll think, oh yeah, I definitely want to use that. And then I won't pull it out and put it to one side, and so I'll forget where it is, and then I'll forget that I want to use it. So I just figured it would be easier for me to do that. The kitchen is very simply decorated. It really didn't take me too long to put this together whatsoever. So you can see the counters here are from Horse Ranch. I do add some cabinets off camera because when I was taking the screenshots of the kitchen, I was like, why does it look so weird? And it's because I'd forgotten to put the cabinets above the counters, which is not something that I ever forget in a normal build. But for some reason, I think because I was sort of adding some more detailing, such as the cracks, the holes in the wall, as you can see that I'm doing here, I think I just completely forgot, and it's just something that totally slipped my mind. But yes, I do add them off camera. So when you download this house, if you download this house, everything is as it should be. Whether or not that means, obviously, I do this a lot actually when I'm taking screenshots of a build. I will sort of notice something that looks a little bit blank or a bit plain, and I'll think, hang on a minute, I need to add something there. So I'll quickly just add a plant or a lamp or a chair or something like that, and I'll just sort of like add it off camera to try and make the screenshots look a little bit better and to make the house feel a little bit more alive. So that is the kitchen pretty much done, and then we move on to this living space here. So this space is a living dining space. Obviously you can turn this into whatever you would like. I almost put a seance table in here from the Paranormal pack, but I just thought that's not really the vibe that I wanted this house to have. So it's got like a really sort of dark vibe to it, and again, this wall paneling is from Horse Ranch and the floorboards are from Base Game. I just thought they worked super well. And I'm going to be honest, whilst I was building this house, it was giving me, I don't know if anyone's familiar with the game Phasmophobia. It's a game that I've been playing with my friends for years, and it was giving me that vibe as I was building this house. And it was a really good thing because the farmhouses in Phasmophobia, I actually really like playing in them, and I perhaps was a little bit more inspired by them than I had originally thought. But looking back at the footage here, it's definitely, yeah, it's giving me Phasmophobia farmhouse vibes. So if anyone else plays Phasmophobia, you'll have to let me know if you agree or disagree. But yeah, again, keeping things, I don't want to say simple in terms of the decor because that's not what I mean at all. But I really just let loose with this entire build, and I let go of everything that I would typically sort of do, and it was really refreshing for me to do that, and it just ended up working so well. I'm so proud of this house, and I'm so excited to be able to share it with you all on my favorite day of the year. I'm so excited, and it is actually my birthday tomorrow as well. My mum always used to tell me that the reason I loved Halloween so much is because my birthday is the day after. That's never been the case. I just love Halloween. I've always loved Halloween. I would love this day even if my birthday was in April. Like, I just would. But yeah, it is my birthday tomorrow, and I've got a huge project that I've just undertaken. I can't really say much more than that. So I think videos for the next maybe week and a half are going to be a little bit sparse is probably the word I would use, so I apologize in advance for that, but at least you've got this going up. I've been pretty good with uploading at least once a week, if not twice a week on the channel, so I think a week just to work on another project wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. But I've also got then another project that I'm working on in November as well, so busy time of year, but I'm so excited to share a little bit more detail with you when I am able to. Anyway, so that is the living space and dining space completely done. I didn't know what I wanted to turn this room into, and then I was thinking, okay, the Phasmophobia farmhouses, they sometimes have these rooms with just like a chair and like a table with candles on it, so I was like, yeah, let's just do that. Why the heck not? I think this house would be really good for like storytelling. I don't know in what context you would be able to use this, but I also added some of the dolls from the debug menu from the paranormal stuff pack, because I was like, yeah, everyone likes creepy dolls in creepy houses, right? Like, why would we not add them in there? So yeah, this weird back room here, I didn't really know what else to do. I also add some detailing to like the floorboards from the paranormal stuff pack. I think that's made of chalk, and I think it's supposed to keep away like evil entities or something, or am I completely misunderstanding that? Anyway, you'll also notice that a lot of the furniture is sort of on like a skew width, so I used the Alt key and then sort of like rotated it slightly to make things look a little bit more like wonky is probably the word I would use. If I had the tool mod installed and if I knew how to use the tool mod, I have absolutely no doubt in my mind that I would be able to really create something superb, because like with the tool mod you can like rotate objects on walls and everything like that, so you can make like paintings look wonky and like sit at a different angle. But it's a mod that, whilst I absolutely have admiration for people that first of all can use it, the creator that created it in the first place, I'm like, wow, it looks a little bit complicated for me. And it's something that I try and stay away from because it does overwhelm me a little bit. I don't know if anyone else feels that way, but yeah, that's just my thoughts and opinions on it. But if you can use it, like, fair play to you, because it's just not something that I've ever really come to grips with. Anyway, now we've moved onto the upper floor. As you can see, I have decorated the bathroom up here as well as the hallway off camera, because it was getting quite repetitive with like the wall details and things like that. So we do start working on the main bedroom first of all, and I really like how this bedroom came out. Actually, this bed is from Base Game and I just thought it fit with the vibe of the house so well. I think it fits perfectly in this room, and again, putting items on a wonk just to give off what am I talking about, like get across this sort of like abandoned house feel. It's not a house that someone is currently living in, because there's no way that someone would be able to live in this house. I don't think. It definitely has a ghost or two, like, let's be honest. It definitely has a couple of ghosts, or like, I don't know, some creepy goings on in here. Anyway, so then we move on to the second bedroom, which is, I made like a twin kids room is what I envisioned. So yeah, this is technically a family house. Obviously, if you do want to renovate this, then you could just strip everything back and recreate the floor plan from scratch, or you could just go in and renovate each room one by one, but that's entirely up to you. So there's not too much going on in here, to be honest, but I did add, again, a lot of clutter pieces. I'll tell you what kit came in really handy with this, and it was the basement treasures kit, because a lot of the items are super disheveled in that pack, and yeah, it came in really handy. So it's a kit that I didn't really even think of when I started this build, but yeah, it definitely worked out really well. So yeah, this is the final bedroom. I'm just adding some more artwork to the walls and just adding some final touches here, but that is pretty much it for this video. So I really hope you enjoyed this. If you would like to download this house from the gallery, it's available right now. My origin ID is RachelPedd. Tray files, as always, are linked down in the description box below. You can get them for free from Sim File Share. But thank you so much, everyone, for joining me here today. I hope you have a happy and safe Halloween. You all take care, and I will see you next time I post a video. Bye!